Johnny. Add to stream.
There it is.
Hello.
Did you mute yourself? I think you muted. Or did I turn it down? I don't know. Wait. Oh, I turned it down. I did that. Okay, how you doing?
I am fine. How are you? It's so lovely to talk to you. I'm so honored. I'm freaking out. Florida.
Oh Lord. Yeah, it is. It just is.
It is. Yeah. I'm still so blessed to be here. I mean, we've still got up over 500 people just in our state, but we're very isolated, as a lot of people say.
It's not panicky here, though.
No, and we're not panicking here. But both my husband and I are shut-ins because we've got various things. But yeah, we're loving it. Hi, B-Mac and Linda. Hi, thank you for coming and joining. Yeah, yeah. You can't see the comments, can you?
Yeah, I got over on the right-hand side, it'll say live comments. You can click on that. And then I do have you opened on YouTube too as well.
Oh, yeah, no. So it's quite hot here. We went from having cooler days. We go from like a week to slightly cooler and up into the 30s, and it's. Oh, hello! Oh my goodness! Hello, everyone! Oh, Red Lentil Healing. Hello! I am going to go and check out your site a bit later, and haven't had a chance. I did get my second Amelia Earhart reading done, but yes.
Okay, good.
I did the flight from the time she left, and about 28. So, yeah, I love doing those. Anyway, thank you, Johnny, for joining me. And
no problem.
Yeah, and it's lovely to actually talk to you person to person.
Actually, as a person I accredit like my channel to, her name is Janet. She was actually emailed me today. Janet watched my channel and told Jen Lynn, and then Jen Lynn started watching my channel, and then everybody came over from her. And so Janet actually told me about you a long time ago, and then I started watching yours. Mm-hmm.
Janet. Yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, well, thank you. I was actually subscriber number 19 for you. I remember you going through and you were reading through because you only had 19 subscribers and I was number 19. And so I've been a fan ever since I first saw you. So
well, I appreciate you.
Actually, it was you who you getting on there and doing it sort of, well, I can do that too.
Mm-hmm. I tell everybody, get your own channel. Kind of like, join the fun.
I love reading. I don't do this for a living. I do it for...
Do it for fun. You should do it for fun. Otherwise, what's the point? You know?
It's a bit of a thing in my in one side of my family with it and stuff like that. And just like something that I would resist every time. My mum would bring out, for some reason, she'd want to read cards. She never had a tarot deck, but she'd say, I should read your cards. And it's like, well, you don't have a deck. And she'd always say I was married.
She encouraged you to do it?
Yeah, no, I love it. And I love doing it. So, well, in the words of the great Chris Cuomo, let's get to it. I love it when you went full Muttley before, when you were laughing and laughing and laughing so much that you were like wheezing.
I made a whole jug of tea.
I call that full Muttley after Muttley from the wacky races, because he'd go. And when I lose it when I'm laughing, I end up making that sound, and my husband calls it
cappuccino laugh.
I love Cash Peters, Lourdes. Hello, Lourdes. He is so funny and so much fun. Somebody mentioned I'm used to having the screen to myself, not having to share it.
If you go, okay, you see
coming out
down below the screen, there is these those little icons. You can click on the second one, and it'll zoom us out a little bit more.
There we go. That's better.
Mm-hmm.
Now somebody mentioned some dude called Mike Gula, where did he, because he's a Republican donor and he's just started up a medical supplies company. They asked the question, where did stock come from? So where's he getting his stock from? So I'm interested. I'm just going to ask, is he on the up and up? Do a yes, no for that. But, yeah. So that's the question I'm going to say. Is he on the up and up? Hi, Wendy. Hi, Egypt. Teresa Beauty, lovely. You love Muttley. Oh, who doesn't love Muttley? I used to have a pair of Muttley socks. I love wearing them. Colourful Muttley socks too. Funny, you love black a lot. You wear a lot of black colour.
You know, I love red, but I have maybe 3 red shirts, and then the rest are just black.
Yeah.
Well, actually, my wardrobe always reflects where I work. And so where I work, the color was black. And so this used to be just a plain black shirt until I put all this mushnakas on there. And so that's all I ever had was black and red because those are the places I worked at.
Before we go on, I'm just going to do my little thing. It's on the description for mine, but it's YouTube. This video is for entertainment purposes only, okay? And any things expressed here shouldn't be taken as proof of guilt or innocence or whatever. Because, you know, they're just, so I do that. When I set up a live, I always do it. And, and when I just don't set up one and just go on, I always say it because I had one of my videos, they cut it out after 4.5 minutes. And I'm like, it didn't even really have that much in it. So I was talking to myself for 36 minutes.
What happened with it?
Apparently it went for 4.5 minutes and then it got cut off. And then I got an email saying, oh, we've removed this video. And I'm like, well, I'll cover myself for that in future. But is this Mike Gula on the up and up? So I'll do a 3 triangle thing here. Let's see. Ace of Swords, that's a yes. Lord of the Root of the Powers of the Air. Ooh, I'm using the Hermetic Tarot. What's that? Ace of Swords, you got that too? Yes. 5 of Pentacles. Material trouble. And 3 of Cups. Circles of support. Well, they all tend to say yes, so he is in the up and up. But,
so here's my thing, though. Like, you can still be an honest person, but I think in particular instance, are you doing this medical supply company because you really like medical supplies? Or are you doing that because right now is the moment that people need medical supplies, so you want to be the one profiteering off of it? Yeah,
I think he's doing it to make money, taking
advantage. I mean, I can't, slam you for it. I just want it to be upfront, like say this is the reason why you're doing it, because I get Page of Pentacles in the world, so there's money and the world, and then 4 of Pentacles, it's about that money, and then that Ace of Swords, like he's not crooked, it's just now is the time to capitalize. I mean,
that's it. He's taking advantage of an opportunity.
I can't blame him for it though, but I can just
Somebody asked where he got his stock from. Well, honestly, there's sources out there from all over the place. He's probably outbidding other people to get the stock in, so he can then add on his bit. But I don't get the feeling that some of it's come from the federal stockpile. I don't know what happened to that stuff, but I'm not going to go there.
They still got it.
Yeah, they still got it. Yeah, that's good. Good to hear. But why they're not sending it?
Only the people he likes.
What happened with Cash Peters, Teresa? Judy, you've got something that he genuinely looked hurt. I know that somebody gave him a bit of a hard time about somebody.
Somebody emailed me earlier and said that he had a reading or something that I guess shocked him, so he took it down.
Yeah.
And so then he made another video. I don't know. I've never seen it, so I can't tell. But that's
Uh,
what they were telling me.
well, if he felt that it wasn't suitable, spirit within Carrie, yeah. So if he felt that it needed to come down, that's that's good. He had his
I
reasons.
believe because what the lady in the I forget. I think it was. Well, I won't say her name just in case you don't want me to. But she was saying in the email that he was seeing Trump release a pandemic to keep himself in office.
Oh,
That's what he was saying. He's saying that he was having a dream that, or Trump in the dream or something like that. Somebody having a dream that Trump was sitting next to aPPRENTICE.
mm-hmm.
And Trump said, "Oh, I'm in a bad spot because my numbers are falling and this and this and this, and the Ukraine thing is still spilling over." And he said, "How can I stay in power? Because if I'm out of power, then I'll get prosecuted." And then aPPRENTICE says, "Well, that's easy. Just start a pandemic." And so when he gave a dog whistle saying, "Investigate Biden's," and investigate Biden's was code word for start a pandemic. And so since they started the pandemic, now he can stay in office. That's what he was saying. And then he took that video down, apparently.
I think he might have gotten a bit, that's a pretty scary thought. I wouldn't put it beyond either aPPRENTICE or Trump to say, well, not necessarily release, let's slip and release the dogs of war or anything like that.
Yes.
Just say, well, this thing started up. We'll just delay acting on it so that everyone's so bad and it becomes a real crisis, because what the people do when they have to vote in a crisis, they tend to stay with what's familiar. So, yeah, I certainly think there would have been discussions about how to take advantage of it and maybe delaying taking real action. Cash always stays true.
But I was saying earlier that I don't want to read on somebody else's reading, because what their spirit told them, my spirit didn't tell me. So I can't go in and proofread somebody's reading. Yeah,
no, that's true. I might say, somebody says something. They said that, and let's see. But not on how they said it, but they read on. I might read on that. I still learn so much from everyone I watch and all that, but sometimes I won't watch readings for several days. And
Lucianne, you're gonna marry Andrew Cuomo?
It might have something to do with that. I did a reading before when you were on before with because somebody said, is he going to be offered a position in the new government? And I'd say that they certainly, I came up with, they'll do it sort of because it would be good for their campaign, but it's not the time to approach him like anything like that. If they approach him with something about that at the moment, he'd basically tell them to get stuffed. I've got better things to think about. And but they might approach him at a later date. So at the moment, his focus is on his state and beyond his state as well. You can see that every time he says, I promise you'll get these things after us and stuff. And so he's not just thinking about his state, he's thinking about the country as a whole. So he's the leader you need right now. And I think a lot of people are looking to him. Every time you watch one of his conferences, it's very calming. He's largely in charge.
He needs to be. He's got a lot to deal with.
Yeah. Well, I'm not a huge fan of the Liberal Party or our Prime Minister, but he is the right leader for this time, and he's doing a good job. And you can see it. I mean, somebody caught a picture of him walking away from one of the press conferences he took, and when he was out there in front of the cameras, his shoulders were back, he was firm, he was like, head was up, but when he was walking away, his whole posture was down. It was just tiredness, it was just weariness, but still a look on his face is that I will overcome this to be there. So sometimes
Oh,
Might
he
not
does
be-
better than he did with them grass fires.
Yeah, I think he learned a lot from them. I think he's earned back a few brownie points, but yeah. Okay. Anyone got a question, Johnny? Johnny, did you know you're the hardest working man in the industry? You are. And it's like midnight our time, and either you or Jen Lynn or somebody is on, and I know it's daytime over there for you guys. I'm like, oh my God.
It was random for me today. I was up and I was bored. I'm like, okay, well, I didn't even have any questions. I just got online.
Yeah.
That's what you do.
Yeah, I did that
around here.
the other night. I was like, night musings, and yeah, be prepared for some titles from me that's going to have the word musings in it. Yeah. Thank you for the musings. I got the musings in me. I'm so glad, Red Lentil, that we can bring a smile to people's faces, because I've been told I have a calming voice, but I've got a very wicked, wacky sense of humour, and if I can calm people down with one and make them smile with the other, that's fine.
That's how it goes. That's good.
Oh, the medications, Trump is saying, well, I want to have a read on that. Is he getting a kickback from medical companies every time he mentions something? What do you reckon?
See, because he, like I said the other day, the moment Nancy Pelosi said we're going to do oversight, he called it a witch hunt. Oversight cannot possibly be a witch. An investigation you might can call a witch hunt. Oversight, no.
He is furious with that Republican senator or whoever he was who said, I want an investigation into the stockpile. That's what said, at least from what I read, that's what sent him off the rails at that press conference. Medications, what's going on with them? 7 of Wands, standing his ground. Princess of Cups. 10 of Cups.
Is he getting a kickback?
I get a yes.
I always get, because I start with the Ace of Coins or the Ace of Pentacles, so it's always money with these people.
It's always money.
I get the World. So there again, I don't think you can draw a line directly from his pocket to them, but a roundabout way, there is some money going his way.
He's going to benefit in some way in the future.
Yeah.
Not immediately, but some way in the future, after he's gone, there'll be some benefit for him somewhere. But the problem with he doing this, it's like he's just doing it so that his cup will run over with whatever gets from him, but he's not thinking. He's thinking more with his pocketbook than his pocketbook. Is that right? Yeah. And he doesn't have emotions to think with, I don't think. And the Princess of Cups, every time he says it, they're like, woohoo! He's putting out the message for us. Ha 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 ha! But it's dangerous. It's so dangerous. I mean, yeah, there's talk of using malaria drugs and all, but malaria is a completely different family of virus. And I'm not an medical expert on areas, but I have done work with.
None of them are either, unfortunately.
Spatial stuff, in my spatial stuff with Ross River virus and malaria and Ross River and all that is called arboviruses. They're carried from bovine host, like four-legged hosts and all that, by mosquitoes to human populations. So it's in a completely different way. But it doesn't hurt to look at things, but it doesn't hurt for the experts to look at things. Yeah. Don't go and take something just because somebody on the television said, it's rumoured that it's worked. So
use hydroxychloroquine or whatever it's called, and which is for fish, and then kill yourself.
You
You
know,
got the wrong person for the job is all.
he's definitely the wrong person for the job. Will there be any residual effects? Oh, sorry, I just have to go up a bit. No, you can see the comment. Will there be any residual effects from THI for the people who were stricken? THI, what's that? You know what THI is, Johnny?
Will there be? Oh, THI is THE.
What's that? I still don't.
It was just a misspelling.
Yeah,
from the people who were affected.
Yeah, from the people who were affected. I don't know. I mean, have you heard of Adam Hill, the Australian comic? He does a British show called The Last Leg. He said, look, you know, if you're in a certain age group, yeah, this virus might not kill you, but it will kick the living
I get yes.
Kick the living, you know what, out of you. And yeah, and he's a funny dude. I'm going to say that. Yeah.
I hope it's not like a chicken pox effect, because chicken pox, once you get it, yes, it may go away, but that's where shingles comes from. So if you have shingles, this is because you've once had chicken pox, and that virus sort of always lives within you.
My mum had an outbreak of shingles once. It was horrible to watch, and seeing Ganga go through what she went through with it. Oh, yeah. So what's that? Is that the residual effects card?
I get 7 of Wands. There is sort of a lying in wait, and then the 4 of Pentacles. It's still in there. Like, this is something held close to the vest is still there. Then it ends in the Devil and the 4 of Cups, because your treatment was not a cure. The thing that they offered you was incomplete, and therefore it will be residual, I do believe.
I got the King of Cups, which is, you know, emotional stability once you're through the worst of it. But King of Swords, it's like it's going to come. It hasn't finished with you yet. There's still more. And 6 of Pentacles, there's so much more they've got to learn about it. You know, they're just looking at the moment at getting people through it, not how long these things, whether it'll weaken your system for the rest of your life, or, you know, like with some viruses, it can, even though you're supposed to be over the worst and feel through the worst, after 3 months, 2 years later, some people are still feeling effects from it. And things like that. So, yeah, they don't know enough about it at the moment. That's what I get. They're still sharing information with each other to find stuff out.
Where is Ivanka? Ivanka's quarantined. She's putting up pictures of her and the kids.
Yeah, well, she was with Peter Dutton, our foreign affairs minister, or whatever he is. Yeah. And yeah, and he came back and he's like, oh, he's got coronavirus.
That's bad.
He was with Ivanka. I'm like, oh, I'm surprised the virus didn't take one look at him and said, oh, hell no, not going there, that good. With regard to residual effects, I still get yes, there's definitely going to be some residual effects, and you're going to need a lot of strength. And it's, yeah, ooh, maybe with just stabbing in the heart or something. I don't know. I might do another reading on that at another time using a different deck too, as to what could be the residual effects. But I'd rather wait a while on that one, because until we know more, because I just feel like something with the heart. It could, yeah.
Well, there is an article I seen today that said something along the same lines of what you just said. That, oh, sweet Jesus. Something about the heart. I just seen that. Anyway, there is a way that the residual effects could affect the heart.
Yeah.
Is this is now, wait, before I stamp that in stone, anybody, that is a theory. It's just a theory for right now.
Yes.
but they're, that idea is floating around too.
Yeah, I'm certainly right with you with the theory thing. I mean, I'm a scientist, so it's like theory is what you check out. You don't just jump in and immediately think all is proven and true because there's an apparent thing there. So yeah. My husband's like, but you're a trained scientist. How can you read? Where's your critical thinking? I said, there's a lot of critical thinking in tarot. Like, I said, there's a lot of critical thinking, and I might be a trained scientist, but that doesn't mean I'm not open to other things. A good scientist is. So, good scientist is always open to other things, and I just found a piece of myself when I picked up those cards. And the first person I watched was Kirsten Langston. She cracked me up. I was laughing for hours watching her. And it's like I said, I have to do this. This is just really drawing me. So always have a big thanks, hugs and kisses to Kirsten Langston. Oh, wonderful lady. Why will you all ask how this shutdown affects the school-aged kiddos? Will they have to repeat, or what other social ramifications are there for the shutdown? Yeah, must be hard for them to be home, not at school. Yeah, I think they can get
that's interesting because repeat means because they didn't miss the entire school year. So repeating would be kind of harsh, but then again, how do you start from like 3/4 the way and then pick up with the new school? Like that's a lot to dump on people all at one time, on kids anyway.
Maybe you get the next school year by a couple of weeks to the front and a couple of weeks to the back, where they can have a little bit of catch-up time.
Because they're essentially going to miss 3 months worth of school.
Yeah.
And if you're missing 3 months worth, that's a lot. Or 2 months, but it's still a lot. Well, let's see.
We're a bit fortunate here is when they started all the shutdown things, like in most states 2 to 3 weeks away from school holidays anyway. So they sort of started saying, look, send out things. We still have the schools open for essential workers who doesn't have and childcare for essential workers who don't have anyone who can look after their children while they're at work and all that. The schools are remaining open for them, and childcares are remaining open so that people can go to work and know that the kids are in a safe place and stuff, and which is important. Still having like almost a month of your school term cut off when they're only like 2.5 month terms can be. Yeah. So how we'll look at the US. Our Prime Minister and our state premiers were very, very firm, and they've all come out and said, yes, if you have your kids at home, it is your responsibility to make sure that they still get their lessons because things are being provided online, And
if you're in and unfortunately, a lot of them are, or they're not a lot of them are, but a lot of people are. If you're in a situation where you have a poor school, and especially in the DC area, you don't have tablets to take home to do your school.
Yeah.
And so what do you do then?
We have what's called juniors, which is year 10, and then a senior, which is year 12. And I had a horrible time at school. I was bullied, all sorts of things. And I ended up leaving before finishing my year 10 at 15, which at that stage was you could leave school at 15. And I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to do much, 1/4 year 10. So I actually signed up for correspondence school, and they mailed everything in and out, and I did it that way. And that's one thing that I think a lot of old-fashioned things could be. We had School of the Air here. People would hop on radios and stuff, but of course that's a completely different time. But yeah, I was a governess as well on a lot of on some cattle stations, and we did School of the Air. And again, they'd mail everything to us, and then we'd mail it all back to them.
That's how I did when I
Mm.
went for paralegal. That's how I had to do it. I went and not emailed, but I would do my test, my work, and mail it, like physical mail.
Yeah.
But that was back in the Stone Ages, so I don't know what they're doing now. But I get the full, so there is a fresh start. So no repeat, looks like.
No, I get 3 cards here. I get definite cups. A lot of kids are, I think, a lot of them are confused, and they, especially the younger ones, is why they can't see their friends anymore and all that. So there's a bit of confusion around the whole situation. A lot of them are confused. It is going to require a new turn in thinking, even if it's a turn back to the way they used to do things before radios or things. And if they can do it online, great. If they can't, mail them things out so that they can do them. But turn back in thinking, looking to the past for new ideas. I think and 4 of Cups is like, oh, I just picked up what do you mean I have to do schoolwork? That offer that they don't really want. We can get the work in for you to do at home. Oh, no.
But that's the reason why I can't work at home, because I'll never get to it. I'll never.
I did all my master's degree online. And it's hard. It's hard to sit down and make yourself work. And when you're an adult and trying to get kids to sit down and do it, it's like, oh my goodness.
I can't. I know I can't.
Mm.
I can't be at home in my comfort and do schoolwork too. No.
Apparently the DC and Maryland districts, if kids don't have tablets, they're providing them, which is good. But, they're still, how's it going to end up with somebody? I read a thing on Facebook once, is having your kids home for a month, without school. Well, how are they going to learn? And somebody said, well, you can teach them to cook, you can teach them to do this for themselves and that. And there's so many things you can teach them about life and how to help themselves too. Take advantage of that as well. But, some people are always only ever going to think it's somebody else's job to do that. And that's big reach out and slap over the head for people who do think that, actually. I don't have kids, but it's
so you don't have to teach your kids anything, because that's what they paid the teachers for.
I don't have to teach my kids anything, but remember I said I was a governess on cattle stations? I know what it's like to teach them. and teach it from material that's taught by real teachers and all that. And yeah,
because that's the new challenge is, okay, you get them the computer, you get them the internet, then who actually teaches them? And then once you stop the online session, what happens then?
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out, though.
I'm hoping that working from home, my contract at work actually finished on the 20th of March, so it wasn't an issue for me to have to work from home because, didn't have a job to go to the next Monday. But it's like, don't sink yourself so hard into working from home either that you miss an opportunity either. I think a lot of people, we've got to do extra because we're at home. And it's a good opportunity to learn about work-life balance in a different way, because you can't go anywhere. So learn about how to do it with your family as well, So anyway, that's enough of my lecture. Yes, there will be a new respect for teachers after this. My husband was a teacher, and he just there's this little meme with the minions, and one of the ones is just losing it, laughing at another one, and it's got parent above the one who's not laughing, and the one who's losing it is a teacher, and he's just laughing and losing it. Yeah, I can relate to that. Dr. Fauci had to stifle a laugh when he said maybe he should have been a doctor instead of president. Doctor, I think that was sarcasm.
So what are Jared and Ivanka doing in regards to Trump Toronto? He has a Trump Tower in Toronto.
Yeah, he does apparently.
And
Yeah.
the Canadian journalist said that he should be investigated.
Jared or Trump or?
So Jared and Ivanka are doing something that a Canadian journalist said they should be investigated for.
What are they doing with Trump?
So what are they doing?
Let's have a look.
Ain't no telling with that family. I mean, they could be doing about anything. Is it a hotel or is it like apartments?
Or offices?
Because that's a big difference. Because if it's apartments, then I'm going straight to money laundering. Simply because you can charge a person $25,000 a month for, a closet of an apartment, but they're not actually staying there. They're just laundering money. Like when he sold that property in Florida for $108 million more than what it was worth or something stupid like that.
I've got the Chariot and the Eight of Cups here. Something's going down really quickly and they're trying to run away from it really fast. They're like, Lord of Abandoned Success, the Eight of Cups in this deck. Oh, geez. And Lord of the Triumph of Light. So I don't think it's paid off the way they want it to. Princess of Cups, they've had some emotional news. And that is Princess of the Palace of the Floods. And Prince of the Chariot of the Waters, the King of the Cups. Oh, yeah, the emotional news again. And drunk on power. That's the King of Cups always comes to me like when I think of Donald Trump, it's like he's drunk on power. And he's had some news he's not happy about. So he's losing it. So they've had some bad news for him about that. I don't know. And I've got Four of Pentacles and Four of Wands, so just barely hanging in there. So they're trying to do something, Four of Wands, to keep it. I think they're on the brink of maybe losing it. I don't know. So,
yeah, I get that something was abandoned with the Eight of Cups, like they were walking away from something. I think they got some negative attention from it because I got the Justice card around this too.
The Wheel of Fortune, Lord of the Forces of Life, and Three of Pentacles, Lord of Material Work. Oh, it's just bound to happen. I think you might be right about the laundering. The Three of Pentacles, working with others with money, and it was bound to happen. If it happens with all their other properties, it was going to happen there. And yeah, I think it's going to slip from their control soon. I don't know.
It involves a person. This is not a person that's normally in the public eye or in the news. So this might not be a person that we have a name recognition with just yet. Because I get the Hermit and then the Page of Wands. So this is someone they were talking to, someone that they know, but he doesn't live here. This is overseas with
in the background. Yeah.
But the deal was cut short because they got attention with that Justice card and the Three of Swords. But this is a person, he was coming in to do business and he was doing business there. Yeah. And there was supposed to be a large transaction that for some reason did not go through, but they need an investigation.
Let's have a look with the Canadian government investigated, huh? Well, the Canadian government,
I wonder who that person is.
Yeah, someone who wanted to stay in the background too, by the looks of it, and did not want to be brought out on the light and had a light shine on him. I don't think he'd be very happy about it at all.
They shouldn't be doing business with him. I mean, that's Medusa and Medusa Jr. right there. Medusa Jr. and Medusa Jr. the third.
Oh, yeah. I look at them more like, heads on a hydra. Think 10 glass of them, but they keep You know, oh, you think they've been cut down a little, more comes out about it. Justice. Ooh, that flipped on the top of the decks when I was thinking, yeah, I think the Canadian government's definitely going to be looking into them. King wants a steady, stable leader, compassionate leader. I think Trudeau, he's not happy.
Wouldn't that be so sweet, though, for getting revenge by investigating his children?
Ooh, let's see. Child of the Great Transformers. Look what came up about that. That's going to be the end of, I think this investigation is going to be the end of Trump's in Canada, I think. It's, yeah. I wonder if the government will seize the property. They'd have a right to, if it was being used for. Yeah. Yeah, they're definitely working with somebody as well. So, I like these black and white cards. Like, children of the voice divine.
There will be something here with the Four of Wands. This is the hotel or building or whatever it is.
Yeah.
There will be something that gets us stuck or stoppage with the hangman.
Yeah.
There will be a delay. Maybe it's just happening now because of the corona, so maybe they're not getting the business or something like that. But something is stopped and seized right now.
Yeah.
The Five of Swords around that walking away, just because you walked away from an icky situation does not mean the icky situation is not still there. So someone is going to be looking at something here with the Five of Swords, but you do have an unfair advantage because there are people helping you hide it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
I was just looking at this card and, you know, with the lovers, the children of the voice divine, I would not call Donald Trump's voice divine. That is the least divine voice I have ever heard. Honestly, you said this wonderful, wonderful woman here in Australia called Jeannie Little, who was a fashion designer. She was just personality bust. I mean, she makes me look like a plain Jane, honestly. And it's like with my colours and everything, she makes me look dull. And her voice was like, "Hello, darling." It was one of those voices that would make your blood run cold. You still love hearing it. You still loved hearing Jeannie go, "Hello, darling," a bit like Carol Channing. You know, that voice that you know it's her, and it's like, oh my God, but you still love hearing her anyway because of that big smile and that big personality. And Trump's not like that.
I had a lady, or I don't know who said it, but they said it today, that when he starts talking, I want to sit in the corner and bang my head up against the wall. It's like, yeah, that's the sentiment. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the voice. I can't do it because I'm just, you know, my whole body, my whole vocal cords will not let me do Trump.
I can't.
I can mimic some people, but no, it's like my vocal cords are going, "Oh no, you're not going there." Yeah, no, it's just, oh. Hi, Carrie Harding. How are you? And H and Lucienne, yeah. Amber, yeah, I like to see people, and yeah, remember thumbs up, people, yeah, nice, you know. Yeah. What else is there we can look at? So we've done Trump's original "fake it till you make it" people. They are terrified of the law. They're not really, because they think the law's never going to find them. I don't think they're terrified of the law. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're too stupid to.
I think they're terrified of consequences. Like the law, they feel as though right now they may be impervious because they know people in high places. Yeah. But they are always afraid of the consequence.
Yeah. But they're also so too stupid to think that
because it's like, you know, you
get away with it. So
you jump off, you know, a bridge with the kite on your back because you want to go hang gliding. Like, you're not afraid of the process, but the consequence of it not working and you hitting the ground is still there. So
Yeah.
it's like you're afraid of the consequence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
they're afraid of going to jail. Absolutely.
Yeah, but they have this deep down belief that they're not going to have to pay them, no matter if they get caught.
I don't think none of them are ever going to jail. I don't think they will, unfortunately.
I think a lot of them are going to skip the country.
But be a Hispanic person with, marijuana in your pocket, you're going to go to jail for 50 years.
I know. It's just ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
They are terrified of going. Well, yeah, I suppose jail would bring a great leveler to them, and they
Especially
think
him.
How would they go in jail? I'm going to have a look at that. How would the Trumps go in jail? I think they think that they'd set themselves up as kingpins. Yeah. How would the Trumps go in jail?
Exactly, DMC. Exactly.
A different deck for this one. I'm going to use the Bohemian tarot deck. Cute, lovely animal tarot deck. Lovely deck. So cute little dog.
I dug this one out on purpose because I just knew you were going to use your steampunk. So I said, let me use my steampunk.
I actually put the steampunk away because I've been using it for a few days, but I might bring out the other one, the tarot from the machine. But yeah, I can bring out my steampunk if you want. I think I emailed you a link about that other deck. Page of Fire. The Trump's in jail. Oh. Yeah, people are talking about them. I think they're getting news that they might.
That's what I got too.
Yeah, Page of Wands. Yeah, I got 10 of Swords. This poor little goat. Sword in the head. Poor little bubba. 10 of Swords. I think that. Yeah. I don't think they'd be safe in jail, to tell you the truth. Money, working, trying to avoid it. I don't think they'd be safe. Would they be safe? 9 of Cups. A lot of people want to see them there, that's for sure. And it'd be happy news to hear of it. And they'd want lots and lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of years. Bang, bang, this sentence, that sentence, sentence for this, sentence for that, sentence for that, sentence. Cumulative.
That's what they need.
I think they'd be safe, but only because they'd have to be in isolation, I think. And I think they'd also be on a watch, because I don't think some of them would. I'm not going to watch out on anyone, but I think some of them would rather, find victory in a different way. That's within their control. So, colourful cards, lovely pictures, but a little bit of a grim. I mean, if you don't want to go to those places, don't get down into the gutter.
That's what we say. If you can't do the time, don't do the crime. Yeah,
that's it. It's like they think they'd be treated like golden child, I think, but they wouldn't. I'll grab the steampunk book, really.
Well, Lourdes, he was trying to start a war, and that didn't work.
He did, yes, he did. Yeah.
So he needed something, I guess. I don't know.
I think if you're talking about the Iran thing with that leader and all that, I think they played with him for a while, but they had.
I never went down that route of somebody did it on purpose.
Yeah.
So I can't tell you.
Yeah, I think that they just we'll play along for a little while, but they had no intention of pushing it to a state of war. It was like, we'll just make life interesting for him for a while. Yeah. Oh, look, if the Trumps lost their money, that would be worse for them than jail. That would, poverty.
That would be a beautiful picture of karma, though, for them to lose everything. You can still be alive. We don't need your life. But when you've lived your entire life stealing, it would be nice to see you lose. Just from a human aspect, it would be nice to see you lose everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially when you didn't appreciate it when you have it.
I was saying that karma would be for me as Trump being locked up in Mar-a-Lago and not allowed out the doors and not able to get onto the golf course. That would drive him nuts. And actually not having the roam of Mar-a-Lago either. Confined to like 2 or 3 rooms, like bedroom, living room, bathroom. Can't go to the bar. Can't go to the pool. Can't go on the golf course. Suck it up, buddy.
Yeah, I think.
Will they lose their properties if no jail time? Let's have a look. I've got the steampunk deck here, Johnny. So I've got reversals in this one. So some decks I have reversals in and some I don't. And
I had them in this one and I just changed it like 2 minutes ago. I changed them back.
yeah, tribute. Yeah. Let's have a look. Ooh. Crozier, Modley, the Navy Secretary, called Crozier stupid for remaining. We'll have a look at that in a bit, I think. Called Crozier
I don't see him
stupid.
losing his property. I see it going to someone else. Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles, and the 3 of Cups, like in the kid's name or something like that. That might indicate that never mind. That he's no longer to be the captain of the ship.
I've got being called forth.
The deck I showed is called Spirit Within Tarot,
yeah.
Amber.
I got the Queen of Swords, which for me is being called forth to answer for your actions. I've got the 8 of Swords. For me, this is like properties are going to get tied up. So, you know, there's no frozen assets, I think. Just Page of Wands, talk, actions, someone talking about their actions. That's quite often for me, that's what that is. Someone bringing news about the actions of others. So, when it does happen, it's going to happen really, really quickly. And it is going to happen. Yep, it's inevitable. They're going to lose. Their properties are going to be frozen. Their assets are going to be frozen. And the Lovers. Ooh. The Lovers there. Under the... Oh! I've got the Lovers under the Page of Wands. I'm wondering if... I don't know. I sense a parting of the ways with somebody. I wonder if one of the spouses is going to talk. Like Eric or...
So who would be going through a divorce at that time?
Well, Donald Trump Jr.'s wife left him.
Because he's already divorced.
Yeah. Lara?
Eric and girl, maybe Melania and Donald.
Lara, yeah. I don't like her. She's like, it's like.
Oh, or Jared and Ivanka.
Yeah. I don't see it. I don't know why, but I don't. I think they're too scared to leave each other. It's like. I don't know why, but we're talking about their assets anyway. So
I don't really have a feeling that any of them are happily married.
No,
I think they're just.
You know, a lot of people would rather hang in an unhappy situation than take a chance on something new. And temperance turned upside down. That's underneath the eight of Swords and the Wheel of Fortune. They're not going to be able to find a balance. They're not going to be able. Some people, if they feel like they're going to lose all their assets or something, that they might be able to work something out with the government or whoever's seizing it to keep something that's not them. No, when they take it, they're going to take everything. King of Pentacles, that's Trump. That's under the Queen of Swords and the Eight of Wands. Yeah, when he gets told, come here, you've got to answer for yourself. It's going to happen quickly, and he's going to have so many charges thrown at him, one after the other after the other. And then I've got an inverted Two of Wands under the Page of Wands and the Lovers. So not going along with the plan. That's what's popped into my head with that one. So again, I think there's a really embittered spouse somewhere there, and they're going to talk. And the Page of Pentacles flew out. And Nine of Cups. News about money and people's wishes coming true. I think the whole of America want them to lose everything.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
If they start to lose money,
yeah,
and this Lovers card is here, that could be people of like mind, that could be people in their relationships or whatever. But I think the Trump relationships inside the family and outside the family are all built upon things, money, possessions, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
And when you start to lose those, the relationship falters, because that's what it was built on in the first place. So if you don't have any money and you don't have any clout, you don't have any influence, you don't have any possessions, why am I talking to you? Why are we here? That's when the Lover card becomes poison, because I don't need you anymore because you can't give me anything. Yeah.
Yeah. You laid out this plan for me and it's not happening. So why should I hang around?
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Modley, it's the Secretary of the Navy. Was somebody asking about him called Crozier's stupid? Crozier's not stupid. Crozier's.
Becca texted me about that because she was watching it. I guess this was a conference or something, press conference. And from what she was saying, acting, the person who fired him is not even he's the acting Navy secretary who was never actually in the Navy, I don't think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's the one who called him stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. Secretary, yeah, that acting dude. And he's not acting very well either. He sweats when the cameras are on him.
He was on Chris Matthews, I think. He called the skipper stupid and naive.
What? And saying that he didn't go up the chain of command, it's bull dust.
Oh, Chris Hayes, not Chris Matthews.
Yeah.
So what are we looking at?
Well, I don't know. What's going to happen to that Navy secretary?
No.
The word keelhaul comes to mind. I think that's what a lot of them want to do to him.
Yes, Trump gave him authority to fire him.
Yeah.
Since Trump is technically all of their commander-in-chief, he can do
that. Yeah. He said this guy's making me look bad, get rid of him. That's what I read a couple of days ago when I looked at it. I said, well, behind it, and the guard said, yeah, he's like making me look bad, get rid of him. Anyone that makes him look bad, get rid of him. Get rid of him. Oh, it'll make me look good to give this POS a reprieve and reinstate everything that he rightfully lost. That'll make me look good. Yeah. That man, I'd say he had his priorities straight, but he doesn't have any priorities. When your only priority is yourself, that means no, no priority.
I think that Trump and this guy, they just created the most hated person in the world, if you ask me. So here's the Five of Swords and the King of Swords. This is him being a bully because of his position given to him by the King of Swords, which is Donald Trump for me. So as you can see in that card, the person being the bully, the person with the unfair advantage.
Yep.
But when you are on a boat, okay, technically, you are subservient to your commander-in-chief. The commander-in-chief is your president.
Yeah.
He is your boss, essentially. But when you are on that boat, it becomes a more intimate affair. These are like family because you are in close quarters with these people for a very long time.
Yeah.
They are the ones you hold closest to you, not the president. I don't care who it is, even if it's one they like. They still hold these people closer to them because these are the people, in case some crap go down in the middle of that water, this is what you have. You can't call the president and say, hey, come help me. You have these guys here. So they are more, he is now weighed down because their alliance is not with him. It is with the person they fired.
Yeah.
So the people on that boat hate this guy, basically. I'll say it that way. Here with the star, this is the card for the future.
Yeah.
And then they're pretty much done here with the world card. Like that cycle is complete. He could come out and save a baby on Christmas Day from a burning building and they will still hate him. The Three of Swords, it's here with the support and the death card. Like his reputation is trash because they got rid of the person that they're most intimate with. They got rid of the person that they hold closer to them. So I don't see a firing at an asset. I just did a general, but yeah.
It's definitely, it's not an asset. People are just feeling like, especially the Navy, they're just feeling like they've had something stolen from them. And that's, that a captain of an aircraft or a commander of an aircraft carrier, his authority can be taken from him for doing the right thing. And he didn't send memos to papers or anything. He sent memos to the people who should have sent memos to, and somebody leaked it. It's not that he didn't follow the chain of command, mind, but no. He did the right thing, and somebody, turned it on its head, and the Navy have had something stolen from them, and that's the, how can any commander feel they can do the right thing now?
Yeah.
If they're going to get fired for it, it undermines their ability.
You created a level of uncertainty that you don't need in your armed forces. Yeah.
And that's stealing from them. It's stealing from the country. It's stealing from the country's security. It's, yeah. And, it's just, yeah. It's like, well, what can we do? We can't do the right thing. We're not even allowed to look at the right thing. We just have to sit back and accept the crap that's been put in front of us because we can't do anything anymore. So, yeah, that action has stolen so much. It had having the same effect as the removing of Ambassador Yovanovitch. Had the same undermining effect. So we've got someone new joined us a while ago. Robin, somebody said.
Hi, Robin.
So welcome. This is my first time going live with somebody else, and I'm so happy it's Johnny. Yeah.
Because if nothing else, you should have the confidence of your armed forces. Like they should know that. Anyway.
Is there anyone who will stand up to Trump and tell him to I just think, all those, I know they have a job to do, the media, but
I want them to just go off one time.
I want them to just say,
answer the question.
You were fake news, boy. That's a nasty question. And I just want them to all stand up and say as one, well, you can go and procreate with yourself We're no longer going to cover your conferences, and you just try getting Fox News into this building because it ain't happening.
They got to be careful because they're getting sued.
Yeah, well, we have the equivalent to Fox News over here is Sky News. It's also owned by the Murdochs.
Yeah, I heard of that mess.
They're just like, just when you think that maybe they're not as bad as the others because they say something sensible, yeah, they go full Hannity.
I don't get anybody will. I get the hangman here, so there might be some desire to do so, but there's a self-sacrifice here because the Knight of Cups is Image and the Four of Wands is their company, so they have to sacrifice and maintain the image of who it is they work for. Because if somebody stands up and says, no, you need to answer their questions, you're a liar, you're this, they represent not just themselves, but he's going to retaliate, kick them out, take away their press credentials, and now CNN can't get in the building. Now MSNBC or whatever you call it, MSNBC can't get in the building, or whoever it is, and so you messed it up for the company type of thing.
Yeah. So they want to. I'm sure they want to, but they just feel like if they did that, they'd just be adding to Trump's gaslighting. The Seven of Cups reversed here, and it's just like it would turn against them. People are not buying Trump's gaslighting at the moment, but if they did something like that, then it might turn against them. And yeah, we've got the King of Swords reversed, so I think this is frustration. They're not able to voice what they want to voice, and it's just like, so they've got to sort of continue with this weird alliance, which they don't really like. And it's just.
This is why I can't be a reporter. I think I would have said something extra crazy in that room. just went and found me another job on the way out.
My uncle was a journalist, and I just could not picture him putting up with Trump. I just can't. I don't think that
they would have flew out my mouth. Now you lying because this and this, like I can't. And then he would have called me a nasty woman, and then I would have punched him in his face.
I'll have to say, Uncle John, how would you have been able to deal with Trump?
I can't now. I'm gonna have to work on my manifesting spell. We need to get him out. So
yeah, should the reporters just sit there and not ask any questions? Again, that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Donald Trump can talk about it, and he's gonna still talk. So
yeah, but I've noticed like a lot of them, they'll show Trump for about 2 minutes when he's saying something near sane.
But Rachel said that we should stop covering his press conferences, so they're cutting it short.
Yeah, and they just cut away and only then show the medical people and show as little as Trump as possible. So I think that's the best way to go. The journalists are way nicer than you are, Debbie Ann.
Yeah, they are very nice. Professional, I guess.
I had some guy called Fred make a nasty comment about me, and I'm just like, well, I just blocked it. But I said, well, if you're watching Fred on the next one, I said, get stuff. And that's what I would tell Trump. I'd just be like, oh, really? Honestly? I'm nasty? Get stuff. I'd be saying 3 of Wands to you, and I don't know have you seen my interpretation of 3 of Wands? If you're good, you get your ships coming in. Bad, you get the curse. Chickens coming home to roost. May your chooks turn emus and kick your dunny down. I love that. That's a very old Australian thing. Yeah,
I heard Lena say it the other day.
It means you're just going to get everything you deserve it and more with extra oomph. But it just depends on the person who gets the 3 of Wands. So if you're a nasty person and I put the 3 of Wands on you, it's not going to be good news.
Yeah, I need to work on my spell. He's got to go.
Yeah. Do you think it'll happen soon? I mean, I don't have any specific date in mind. I just get the idea that I can't see him at the
I
August.
always said, not always, but I said just recently on the last one, nobody knows.
You don't. You can't. I mean, there's a sense that it's going to happen, but when and how, it's like.
Everybody has given a date and everybody has been wrong.
Oh,
he's going to go in the summer. No, he's not going in the summer. Oh, he's going to go in the winter. No. He's going to go October. No. All the days have come and gone and he's still here.
He could go right to the election. I don't think it's going to happen, but it can be wrong because it's free will of the people.
And he can still be going soon, but we don't know. I don't know. We don't know the date. All we can tell you is soon or not soon, because that's all the tarot is going to say.
Do you think he's backcracked crazy enough to decide, well, stuff the Democrats and stuff the Republicans, I'm going to run as an independent?
No. Because he's controlled now. He's got the hand up the backside, so somebody's puppeteering him.
Yeah, they won't let him.
Mm-mm.
I reckon they should let him, because I'll tell you what, we'd have a lot of his followers go with him, and that's less Republican vote. So they could.
So I'm gonna do a reading now and see if it'll be soon or not soon. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think it's soon. I don't think it's like we'll wake up tomorrow morning and he's gone.
I said this too in the last stream, that I wake up every morning and I turn on my Google alerts just to see if he's still there. That's all I do. I actually woke up today and clicked on it and seen Boris Johnson's face, and I'm like, oh Lord.
Yeah, he's in intensive care.
So
Robin,
soon or not soon?
How do you feel?
Well, it says soon.
Sorry?
It says soon.
It says soon.
Yes, there is the lovers. Here is the like-minded, but something happens drastically to his alliances. With the Five of Pentacles, it becomes diseased and pushed out. Then you got the Seven of Wands. This is him on defense mode, because then you have the Fool right after it, and then you have the Tower right after that. The Tower is sudden, so something soon. So
I got the Emperor. I got the Emperor Trump. Ten of Swords. And a new dawn. Because some partnership has fallen apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His support's gone. I did say that, though. I said that last week.
What's that?
Last week, that his support would be gone, and that's what starts his downfall, too.
Yeah. Robin and the lady thing, she was saying a lot of Americans are calling him President Death, and would he like it if he was asked for? I don't know. Well,
I think they should start calling him that, kind of like Moscow Mitch.
Yeah.
And that sort of made him change his tone in a lot of things, because they didn't like the name calling.
Yeah, I think they he get news of it, and it just like, yeah, I think it's hell for everybody around him, and abuse his power even more. I just think it would spur him on. So I don't think it's a good thing to be doing, because it just give him an excuse to hate on people even more and make life hard for them, because that's what he's doing. The American people don't like me. Well, I'll show them I'm in the power to keep everything from them that they need. So, yeah, I think that's something they should probably stop. And I don't think it would be a good thing. Marcia P. An essential worker too. Make sure you get a good night's sleep and good food. Yes, anyone who's here who's essential workers. If you're up late, if you just come in and want some relaxed time, we're happy to help you relax. But if you need to sleep, go to sleep, darlings. Okay, you need your rest. You know, Johnny and I, I
quit before quarantine.
Yeah.
So
Quarantine. Yeah.
I had sort of essential job too. My store is still open.
Yeah.
That I worked at.
Yeah. My contract ended, and if I was still working, I was looking at the Australian government or the state governments and the federal government with work from home. They've set it up. They went through in the 3 weeks or so after Morrison declared it and set up all the departments so that if people could work from home, so they could work from home if they wanted to. My sister's a government worker. She chooses to go into the office, but she's a manager, and she said most of everyone else at home. But if she's a manager, she probably has more tools there that she can use to contact people and stuff.
When this is over, will anybody want to go back to actual work? It's like you can just work from home now. Everybody.
Yeah, it's like, if it can be done, why not? I think it would create. There'd be less cars on the road, less traffic on the road, less this. So that'd be a good way. B, you get a better work-life balance, and why not? I just think it's a good model, and as long as they can still, do their work within this time and that time, and and think of the time you'd save not having to commute.
Yeah.
I mean, when I was working at government department here, that guy would commute 3 hours a day. Like, that was on public transport, train into the city and then a bus out to the offices. It's like 3 hours a day.
All day.
I love my job. Great department work, but yeah, I'd be getting home at 7 o'clock at night. And,
Hi, Jill.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Marcia. It was in January. Back in January, February.
Hello, Jill. Welcome. Haven't seen your name before. I'm Melamani. Thank you. Master P. Sweet P68. Brandon. Debbie Ann. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining.
Mass unemployment, yes, it will. They're hiding the numbers now because it sounds bad, but we're in the millions.
I don't think people are surprised that the unemployment's going up. I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, we're going to have a deficit here in Australia for a good 10 years, but I think people are willing to have that. And, of course, there's always going to be people complaining. People who have taken off cruise ships and all that, or come in and they've been put in quarantine in 5-star hotels with meals delivered and everything, and they're complaining and grouching. And in the Crown Hotel here in Perth, which is a casino, apparently some people were going out of their rooms with their meals because they thought, crappy food, and just throwing it over the railings into the atrium area. And I'm like, and you know what? I don't have to pay. The government is putting the bill for all this. And I'd be like, nah, make them pay. If they do something like that, make the people who do that sort of thing. Not most of them are fine. But if you're going to do that sort of thing, make them pay. And, won't kick them out much as you'd like to.
So I have a request for a reading here.
Okay.
And I need to do this one too. I might even make a video on that. Or ask them on Sunday to do it since we're going to do it here. So Carnival Cruise, I'll set this up here.
Okay.
The Carnival Cruise company gets away with not paying U.S. federal taxes because they're stationed in Panama, is what this article just said. So they can avoid taxes. Unfortunately for them, because they're hit extremely hard right now with this sort of travel ban because of the corona, they can't get any of the federal bailout money because they don't actually pay any taxes into the U.S. government. And so now they can't get the federal bailout money, and they're losing all of their money because their ships are now basically docked. And they're in debt. So are they going to go out of business? They can't file for bankruptcy because they're not stationed here in the U.S. So what are they going to do? Are they going to lose their business? Are they going to be bought and sold? What's going to happen to Carnival Cruises since they've been living off the fat cat and not paying taxes, and now they're hurting.
I have a question about a cruise line too. Well, one particular ship, and we'll get onto that. But let's have a look at Carnival Cruises. One thing I do know is they're offering the cruise so that they can keep the money in the coffers, and that way they can use that money that's in the coffers for investments elsewhere and stuff, and try and keep things afloat. But a lot of people, like myself, our cruise was cancelled a week before it was due to go, so we just requested a full refund. Still waiting on it, but they did say it take up to 30 days, and we're still within that limit. So yeah, but yeah. So one of the reasons they offer the cruise credit is that they still have that money available in their accounts and everything, and they can try to find ways of investing, earning capital with it. So that's why a lot of people will. Yeah, but will Carnival Cruises go down? I love cruising. I really love it, but I've enjoyed every cruise we've been on. We've been on 5, but I couldn't feel safe anymore doing it.
I've never been.
Oh, it's wonderful, but I just don't feel safe anymore. King of Wands, Chariot. Are they going to go down? Yeah, I think they are. Well, they're in danger of it. Definitely. Their money's so tied up. It's been tied up with, I don't know, maybe they're getting more requests for refunds than they are for cruise credits. That's why a lot of them have been having 125% cruise credit. You get a lot more if you keep the money in it. They're offering a lot more, but their money's so tied up, and I think they're in danger of going down. They're not stable, and yeah, you know, the King of Wands, right? It's about stability and good leadership, and I think there's something going on with the leadership, maybe. Then the Chariot, I think they feel like things are happening too fast, and it's a bit out of their control. I think they're in danger of it, definitely. What about you?
I absolutely agree. There is the Page of Swords, first card to get. So there's your bad news crossed by the Empress. This is your lifeline. So there's bad news surrounding that. The Two of Swords and the Hierophant, your company is at a standstill because you don't quite know what to do. You were not prepared for this. The 10 of Swords and the Chariot, there may be some, well, I'll just say it, there's complete, because the Chariot is a vehicle card for me. There's a complete stoppage to your momentum. Your momentum is dead. Especially here for America, which was a big draw for you. But it does end in the Magician, which I clarified with the Page of Wands. So you'll find a way. So there might be a particular investor or investment or something like that might hold you over or something of that sort. But you will still have to, I don't know how you file for bankruptcy, but you're still going to have to do what rich people do when they claim to not have any money.
Yeah,
that's what you're going to have to do. So you're going to have to get a little tricky with the Magician card. You'll figure it out, but you're in danger of going down absolutely because your money is tied up.
Yeah. A second layer here. I've got the Knight of Pentacles. Things are moving way too slow in them trying to sort things out. And people who have been cruising with them for years, they're just no more, can't do it. A bit like myself at this stage. In judgment, people are just saying that they're judging it. It's like judgment's going against them. It's just not worth it. And so it might not happen immediately. They might be able to hang on, but they're not going to get enough people back to. Yeah. I don't know if that's all cruise lines, but Carnival, they're just not going to be able to attract back the numbers of people that they used to, because people who've been cruising for years.
I think a lot of industries are going to be changed forever after this.
Now, my cruise ship question is, we have a ship down here called the Ruby Princess, docked in Sydney, and somebody stuffed up big time in New South Wales Health. In fact, the police commissioner who was put in charge of the investigation has now passed all evidence along to the homicide department, and they let 2,500 passengers off, and they've said, go home if you're in Sydney and lock yourself away for 2 days and go and fly home to your different state. No control. And this was after the order was in place that if you're coming in the country, you go to a hotel for 2 weeks. And they just let them, and there's been over 10 deaths from that thing now, and a spike in hundreds of cases from that ship docking. And it's just cruising around now. Apparently it's making its way around to Western Australia. I just get an idea that ship is, no one's ever going to want to hop on it again. It's going to be held out as the ship.
They're doing that here in Florida too.
Yeah. Yeah, Ruby Princess. And you reckon, I just said to my husband yesterday, I said that ship is, nobody's ever going to want to hop on it again. And it's just, I can just see it in the wreckers yard in India or something. So do you think it'll ever have another cruise on it again? I think to me, it's going to be the ship that represents it all. So even if they rename it, they won't be able to get away from it.
Yeah, you have to trick somebody.
I got the star. They are thinking of renaming it in hope that it'll be able to get. But that plan's going to be turned on its head. 3 of 1's upside down. Chickens coming home to roost. 4 of Cups. People aren't going to buy it, and I think they're just going to be sick of hearing the name too. They don't want to know. Is it going to end up in the wreckers yard? Maybe not. Yes and no. I get that they're going to find a way to make some money from it by sharing bits of it out with other ships to sort of, balance things a bit. But it's a precarious plan. This is like
to repurpose it
upside down. The plan to rename it isn't going to work. So this is their backup plan, I think, is to cut it up, and because they're very modular, these ships, and you can take one bit from one ship in the same class and just slide it into another. They're very, very modular, and so I think they're going to try breaking it up, but sharing bits out with other ships, or maybe even selling it, or they could try and sell it. Let's have a look here. This is the other plan, sell it to somebody else. Yeah, they're thinking about selling it too. Yeah, here's another opportunity. Maybe somebody can buy it. Yeah, that's a new idea. Get somebody to buy it, but I think that's going to fall over on its ass too. I think they've got this big, dead, white elephant is going to be the ship that represents it all. What about you? How'd you go?
I get the devil and the company, so there will be some trick going on here. There kind of has to be, because the people have memories, like I always say, and they will remember this, and you have to trick them, so you have to rename it, repaint it, re-something it, and then call it a whole new vessel. The 8 of Cups and the 5 of Cups, you have to walk away from this, and you have no choice. So if there is some reluctance here with the 5 of Cups, there is a sort of a sorrow and regret, like, oh my God, this is happening to us, but you got to walk away from it. But it will come back, possibly repurposed here with the Judgment card and the 3 of Pentacles. They will call it something else.
Yeah, or
or they will use it for something else, but it will be used again.
Sell it to a smaller line or something. maybe make a bit of a loss on it. But, I'm going to ask the question whether, because honestly, people, it put so many people's lives at risk, and people have died because of whoever stuffed this up so big. And I'm going to ask the question if someone will be charged over it. So I'll go back to the black and white desk. It's not a common manslaughter. So somebody just was a total clusterfudge. It really was. And, yeah, so we'll see if somebody's going to face charges over it. It's gone from a government investigation, get it up to New South Wales Police Commissioner to a homicide investigation. So, yeah.
Because we have one full of infected people that was able to dock in Florida because Trump said so. And that's why our cases are going to go up.
Yep.
It matters who your leaders are, that's for sure.
It just gives you an idea of what sort of thing can happen if everything was just left unsupervised. Yeah, I've got somebody's going to get charged. I've got the King of Wands, which is a yes, and the Empress, which is a yes.
I got King of Wands too. That's my investigator card.
Four of Cups. Sorry? You're investigating.
Knight of Swords with that King of Wands, like they're doing it like right now. There's a lot of chaos going on that he's trying to sift through with that Knight of Wands. But someone who worked there is going to get some documents or going to get some, they're going to call upon him some sort of way. Yeah, there's investigation.
Yeah. Well, Four of Cups, which is a maybe. And so there's like, again, just... there's so much dissatisfaction about it. I think that's the dissatisfaction about the whole thing. But the High Priestess, that's another maybe card. They're going to have to try and dodge around somebody else's agenda. Somebody's going to try and interfere, I think, but they're not going to be able to do it. Yeah, somebody's going to try and abuse their power and, try and get things settled down a bit, but it's not going to happen. Yeah. Foolish. So yeah, there's definitely going to be somebody charged despite the efforts of somebody else. Knight of Wands, Six of Wands, investigation coming in, protective energy. Six of Wands, yes, there will be that person's agenda. They're not going to be able to pull it off. They're just, the Six of Wands is on top of that High Priestess and somebody else's agenda. So they're not going. It's not going to happen to that person's agenda. And the Wheel of Fortune, it's inevitable. Someone's going to get charged with it. I mean, somebody dropped the ball big time, and they really do have to answer for it. I mean, it's not everybody in New South Wales Health who's responsible for this, but somebody is, and they have to answer for it because of the risk that they put everybody in New South Wales in. And yeah, okay, that's the Ruby Princess. It's the Costa Concordia of the coronavirus, isn't it?
Hi, Ian.
Hi, Ian. Is that Ian McGrath or Ian Robb? Ian Robb, hi, how are you? Ooh, look, is that Trump? Who's Trump? Is who Trump? Is who Trump? Let's have a look. We're looking at the cards, not at the comments. So let's see. Anybody else got something to ask? I flew for US Airways. A lot of friends still flying. Yeah, the airlines. Look, I think you have to keep the airlines. You have to help them. To me, it makes sense because freight still has to get from here to there. You know, essential personnel have to be able to get from here to there if they're needed. If all the airlines shut down because of this, it's going to cause huge problems. So, but I think a lot of smaller ones might go down. They've got a big push here. Part of one of the stimulus packages they've introduced here is to help the regional airlines in Australia because a lot of them get goods and services out to, we're a big country and there's a lot of space between towns. So, yes, there's a big helping hand going out to regional airlines and all that. Yeah, they have to be helped because, you know.
It's an essential part of your economy, kind of like they bailed out the car companies and the banks. It's like you kind of have to, otherwise, what are you going to do without them?
I have a question about, I did a reading the other day. It was, somebody asked, will we heal the earth? And I did a reading on that, and I've done a couple of other readings, and I want to have a look at will an increase in funding come out of this for alternative technologies that help the planet, that provide energy and power and transport in new ways? Will there be an increase in funding afterwards? Not immediately, of course, but the funding has to go elsewhere. But will there be an increase in funding so that I don't know where in Johnny, where you live in Florida, Johnny, but it's normally got, is it the air fresher there than it has been in ages?
What'd you say?
I don't know where you live in Florida, but is the air fresher there than it has been since you can remember?
No. But then again, I haven't been outside in a very long time. I went outside yesterday and it's hot already, but we're in the tropics, so it gets hot anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with the water is just right down the street. And this is not like the Pacific where the cool breeze keeps your state cool, 24/7. This one is always hot, always.
It's hot and humid. I grew up in town in North Queensland.
That hasn't hit us just yet. The humidity is not here just yet, but we've got the heat.
That humidity where when you're walking, you can feel it moving on your skin.
Yes, it is. It's still too hot for me. But, I sit with the menopause fan on like 24 hours a day. So.
When I first moved to Perth, I was honestly, I would wrap myself up in winter like I was in the Arctic or the Antarctic, because grow up in North Queensland and people would get to summer, oh, it's so hot and so humid, and I'm like, what? I'd be wearing a cardi or something. Not that way anymore. It's 32 degrees and I'm like, this heat is up the biatch. And before it'd be 32 degrees, I said, what are you talking about? This is nothing.
I hate heat. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it.
Well, let's have a look at what's the future for alternative. They're going to get more funding and all that. What's the future for alternative technologies that help, that really help? Not the fake ones, but the real alternatives.
Me too, Renee. Like the moment I get hot, I get an attitude. Yes, Gma, I'm not going to move till like around the summer months, actually, unfortunately. So it'll be like in June.
August would be very hot over there for you, wouldn't it? Hot in June?
Yes, very. But we're winding stuff up here. We're like, getting ready to get out of here.
Okay.
So will there be any funding?
I'm going to actually not use the card that I was going to use. I'm going to use a different deck. What you might. Yeah, that worked out well. Hang on, we'll just move that aside.
I get the Empress, which is new,
Yeah.
and then the Two of Wands. Like there has to be a fresh perspective on the world and how the world operates and what's going on in the world right now. If you approach the same problems with the same thinking, you get the same result. And so you need a fresh perspective. And so whoever it is with the Hermits, with the Empress, with the King of Cups, the Page of Cups, these are the people who are going to bring new perspectives. You got to get out of the mentality of we have to do what's cost effective for companies.
Yeah.
They have to let go of the mentality that we need more money instead of more perspective. We have to act like we need to live here forever and not live here for 90 years and then we don't care what happens after that. We have to keep in the mindset that this planet has been here a long time. We're not going to kill it, but we are going to hurt it. So we do need to make sure that our mindsets going forward are not the same poisoned ones from previous. So I don't see money coming in, a whole bunch of it, like changing the landscape of technology. What I see is perspective change is what we need. And then we will go into a better direction.
Sometimes it's not money that's needed. Sometimes it's creativity
And just
and
different perspectives.
encouragement. And that different, the Hangman, I've changed to the good tarot here. The Hangman here, yes, that different perspective. And I've got transformations, which, you know, card 13 usually death, but again, it's transformation in our way of thinking and in our way of doing things. And I wonder if there's a lot of people who have realised they don't actually live that far from work. They can actually walk to work instead of drive. Just transforming the way you think, because that's the way changes happen. That's the way you bring to an end bad habits and start new ones. You've got to change the way you think.
Mm-hmm.
There's a star. These technologies are going to be bringing a whole lot of hope, but the star to me is also vulnerability, so that they're vulnerable to people talking them down, and that should stop. So keep talking them up. Don't talk them down. The world, 21, yeah, all over the world. Looking at things all over the world. Don't just look in your own backyard, look in other people's backyards.
Mm-hmm.
And how, you know, there are things that have been around for thousands of years that people can still use. One is a very efficient cooling system called the stack effect, which you can get with your fireplaces. It's hot air rises and it can go up the fireplace, and if your flues are open, it can be released out of the top of the fireplace. That's been used in houses. They've had evidence of the stack effect being used in places that are like 4,000 years old. So it's an old technology, but still effective. I don't know if the fireplace analogy is the correct one. It's been a while since I looked at any of that stuff, but having windows up high that are open because the hot air rises and then it goes, because it gives it somewhere to go. Just looking all over the world and looking at things that are older with that new perspective. I've got the 9 of fire. Keep battling. Don't give up, you know. With the 9 of fire, 9 of wands, that's people who are battling, but they're still building their defences. Don't ever give up. The people who are working there, don't ever take no for an answer. Keep going. Keep fighting, because there will be people. And I've got the messenger of earth, which is the page of coins. There will be people there who will listen and who will offer you some opportunity to keep going. And the ace of fire, new ideas as well. Keep encouraging new ideas. And the last one I've got is the 2 of fire. If plans that had been, any plans that people are looking at, don't give up on them. Don't put them aside because you think there's not going to be money for it or there's not going to be that. Continue through with those plans. Don't get diverted by things. And if governments or authorities or local government areas or whatever have some plans that can help with that. Keep going with them. Don't give up on them. And look at sharing those plans with the areas around you. Hey, look, we're planning to do this. How does this feel? How do you think? What do you think about that? Can we talk about this sort of thing? So share those plans and those ideas as well. So
that's a good message, though, especially with that Nine of Wands and that Ace of Wands. I think that every generation's young people fixes what the previous generation neglected. Because you can't do everything. So it's kind of like even the generation of the 60 and up, if you look back at your parents' generation, you righted a wrong that they lived with because they didn't have a solution to it. And you did, so you righted it. And then the generation coming after us will right the wrongs that we can't. And so the world, I always say this, and people, they hate the way the world is and they're afraid and all this. The world is always getting better. It just doesn't look like it because it's not what we're always fed. We're always fed the negative part of life. Oh, this person got robbed, and oh, this person's doing something crazy. But the world is always getting better, and all we have to do is just look at a history book. Look where we were and then look where we are. Like, no, it's not perfect, but it's not that. And so the next generation will fix the things that we neglected. And then the generation after them will fix what they neglected. Yeah. That's progress. We evolve too.
Yeah. And a wise generation will also keep what works as well. I think that's sort of the came out for me too, is look, what was it Chris Cuomo said? He said, chicken soup, it works. It helps you get through the fever.
Yes, it does.
That's a fallacy. Look, if people keep saying it and they've said it for hundreds of years, there's a reason they keep saying it.
Yes, there's a reason they keep using it.
Don't dismiss something that you think, oh, that's old thinking. Yeah, if it's old thinking that's harmful, definitely dismiss it. But if it's old thinking that has harm or can diminish harm or actually can enhance things, look at it.
Put the Vicks vapor rub on your feet and put your socks on.
Yes. Old is new again, that's the saying. And and the more things change, the more they stay the same. There's reasons behind those sayings. And even though they might sound like they've come out of there's a little program called New Generation BS Generator. Have you heard about that? What it is, that's what it's called, is you go in and you'll press the button and it'll do a random search for all these words, for all those new age sayings that you think, oh my God, where's your head at? And it'll come up with something that just sounds profound, but it's all just random words. And it's like, I love it. And it's, I read tarot cards, so I'm not against new age thinking or anything like that. But sometimes you think, did that person actually come up with that themselves, or did they just press this button on this generator?
I have like 3 or 4 philosophers in my head. Stuff just comes out. And I love some of the things that come out.
And
I don't remember none of them.
I love it when you lose it and go Bill Muttley. I can still remember that clip you had with the Mitch McConnell and the Crypt Keeper card.
Jen said I need to go back and make a montage of all the times that I'm like, that would take a long time. I don't even remember the videos all of them are in. I'm not there. I'll leave that up to somebody with more patience than me.
I'd love somebody to come up with a Trump BS generator. Just take all the little phrases and words and everything that he used to put them in.
He is a BS generator.
I'll tell you what, whatever that generator would come up with would still make more sense than anything that Trump can come out with.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I've got 10 minutes, 12 minutes left. It's like I do 2 hours at the most. My husband's got to come out to the kitchen and eat sometime. He's like, I don't want to go on camera. I don't want to be seen. He's like the last couple of times he's come out, it's like he forgets sometimes that that I'm alive. He's going, "Can you cut me out?" "No, we're live." I got this phone call yesterday. It was a New South Wales number. I have a lot of family in New South Wales, so I thought, and it was some guy from something going, "Oh, I'm from such and such." I said, "I don't know if you guys could hear me, but I'm saying no, it's not a good time, and I'm really not interested." And he goes, "Well, I'm just going to call you back again, seeing as you're so rude." And I'm like, "Yeah, you do that." And as soon as I finished on there, I got the phone, found the number, and just blocked it. And I'm like, "Yeah, try calling me back now, wise ass." Anyway, I thought that just for the last couple of minutes, I have a deck of cards here. Love it.
How many decks do you have now?
Oh, I have not counted them. I've got quite a few Oracle decks as well, so I don't think I'm up to yours. But I sent you that link for the Soraya Rose Steampunk.
Yeah, I deleted that email. I'm not buying anymore.
Yeah, right.
Not unless I see one that says I should buy one more. That way I have 113. I like the number 13.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's one. One of my favourite Oracle decks is the Enchanted Map by Colette Baron Reid. And so I've got it here. Yes, that was me. Now she's gone. Where is she? Now I'm back. And I love this deck. Because I'm a trained geographer as well. So anything with map, it's like, oh. But I do love this deck, and I thought I'd see what messages have somebody said. Do you want to grab have you got an Oracle deck nearby? And
I have all of them.
Message. You've got about 6 or something, you said, I think.
I have 5.
I know you've got the Wisdom of the Oracle as well. My husband bought me that for Christmas last year, so I'm going to use Enchanted Map.
So let me see, because what I do is I pick one from each deck, and then I buy. Not buy. I'm reading the comment. I put them all together. I put the message all together.
Tarot reader's last words. I'm not buying any more decks. Yeah, that's like a model maker too. My husband makes models, and it's like, oh, I'm not. I'm not going to buy any more models till I've built some more. Yeah, right. Yeah.
See, I don't need any more. I got pretty much all the ones I like. I've been to everybody's website just about, and I don't see any that I really like. And so, and mind you, the reason I'm not buying anymore is because the thing that they're sitting in is too heavy. So that does play a factor in it.
You'd be like squash like a bug, would you?
It's like it is too heavy. It is 2 big giant containers. Yeah, I don't want no more.
My little bookshelf here, every time my cat decides, Cameo decides she's going to jump up on it, I'm like, oh my God, is it going to tip? I'm waiting on the Arthurian Tarot deck, the 25th anniversary one. So anyway, let's draw 3 cards, I think. What messages do we have for everybody out there who open the door?
The Beatles one. Jen has the Beatles one. I think that's
Hey? Absolutely love and adore all of you.
I know nothing about the Beatles. I'm not a Beatles fan, so that would be lost on me. Jen has it. She can use it.
I love the Beatles. I grew up in the music was always playing. So it's like, my musical range tastes are very wide ranging, except for possibly rap. But yeah. But my favourite at the moment is just like to put on the full 25 minutes of Shine On You Crazy Diamond by Pink Floyd, and it's like, wow. Anyway, I have 3 cards here. So like Johnny's getting the rest of his out. Got number 14, Ride the Wave. There's a lot of things you can't control. You can't control the waves. The best you can do is hang on and go to whatever device you're hanging to and go for and ride it. So that's all you can do here is ride things out and trust that you'll get to shore. That's what you have to do when you're like on those little boards out there on your juice pipeline. You have to have faith and trust in yourself that you can get yourself to shore. And that's what you've got to do here with 19, I call it. 19 cards. 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 And yeah, and we've got sad embrace. Yeah, there's going to be sadness for a lot of people. Don't be afraid to feel that. Don't be afraid to let those tears out if you need to. Honestly, there's been a couple of times when I've just burst into tears and cried on my husband's shoulder. And it's like, don't be afraid to do that. You know, it might make you feel better. Hopefully it will. And this person may look like they're alone, but they're not. Honestly, they might be alone in the card, but there are thousands of these decks out there. So and it's like they're linked to every other deck that's out there. Know that even if you're alone in your isolation, if you feel sad, know that there are other people feeling the same thing, so that you're not really alone in what you're feeling. And just reach out with your energy and just send hugs and loves and kisses and a healing light to all those who might be feeling like you do. You know how it feels to be that way. So, yeah, take that embrace and embrace the sadness and just, you know, realize that other people are doing it too. And you can just reach out with your energy to them and realize that you're not the only one feeling it. And commitment. Be committed to doing the right thing by staying where you're asked to stay, and know that there are so many healthcare workers and essential workers who are committed to going out to work every day to do the best for everybody. And when you can, show that appreciation of their commitment. And if you know someone who's doing the right thing, get in touch with them and say, thank you for staying home. Thank you for doing that. Thank you for working from home. And, you know, it's applaud that commitment in others and applaud, you know, I might say, oh, give yourself a pat on the back. But if you're doing the right thing, yeah, give yourself a pat on the back. You're committed to doing the right thing and you deserve praise for that. Okay, so that's my messages from the cards. So what about you, Johnny?
I got pretty much the same thing. Mending, we're on the mend. This is repairing what is damaged and doing our part to repair what is damaged. We are getting better. I said this before, I'll say it again. We are getting better, even in the midst of trial and adversity. Understanding community with the maestro. This means in the time of crisis, we know for sure we have each other. I know what the government does and what the super powerful does, and all, it doesn't matter, because we understand that at the time of 9/11. We understand that in the time of crisis everywhere, especially over in Australia with the bushfires. We go through things, and the first thing that we can latch to is each other. Then we try to get our government involved, and then they try to help, but they usually muck things up or whatever. But we know we have each other, community and understanding. The reason we have each other is because we've been there. It's like the thing that I see you going through, I have been there. At the very least, I can sympathize or empathize with it. And then we have Triumph of Lies and Montreal. These two cards, this one talks about the false narrative. This one talks about the proof. Don't listen to negativity. Yeah. Negativity is dressed up as news. This is happening today. Okay, it happened yesterday. Why do you have to reiterate it today? This creates a panic. This creates a fear. When something is constantly told to you over and over again, that's all you think about, whatever it is, good or bad. Look at the proof. Look at the Montreal, the angel of rain. After it rains, you cannot deny that it has rained. That's why it's the angel of proof. Look around and see that community, see that mending, see that understanding. And that's where your power lies, is in knowing that through it all, because this something is going to happen again, you will still have each other. You will still have community, and that's where the power lies. That's my message.
Oh, Johnny, thank you so much for joining me.
No problem.
I'm a privilege.
I had fun.
I really adore you. And I just, yeah.
And I think officially, they say this about me, but I think officially you have the greatest laugh in all of YouTube.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. It's not Jimmy Carr's laugh, at least. But thank you so much. And again, thank you everyone who's joined in the comments and everything. And look, I if you've been waiting for Amelia Earhart, I just finished recording this part 2, and I'm going to put it together and load it later tonight. And yeah, and so glad you will join us. And please look after yourself. Remember, it's okay to feel sad too. You know, just know that you're not alone in that, a lot of us. And just remember that we're all here for you, and I know that you're all here for us. And yeah, that's about it. What about you, Johnny? Anything to say?
I'd say so. Yeah, keep your chin up. Remember, stress and worry and anxiety lowers your immune system.
Yes.
Just be strong through it all, and use that community. Use the people around you that you can use. Don't kiss and hug no stranger, but you'll be all right.
Damn it, there goes my plan for the rest of the day. I'm just going to go and snaffle the mailman when he goes past. He's really cute.
That'll bring your husband out the kitchen for sure.
I think so. Anyway, everyone, I do have to go. Again, thank you again, Johnny, for joining me, and I hope we can do it again. Yeah. And please, I mean, it's morning when it's night there, man. It's night when it's morning there, and I'm usually awake. So if you want to hook up again, send me an email and stuff. No. Okay, bye-bye, everyone. Love you all, and we'll see you next time.